Dear soul, please listen closely. Angels are connecting with you right now. They want to show you if someone is secretly praying to God to marry you because they've seen how special your path is. What is it about you that has touched their heart so deeply? Dear one, there's someone who looks at you and sees more than just a person. They see a miracle in human form. Someone whose presence shines with the peaceful energy of creativity, abundance, and gentle nurturing. They're secretly asking God to make you their life partner. It's not because they want attention, but because something inside them recognizes the rare, divine feeling you carry. You've touched them in ways they didn't expect. It's not just your words, your looks, or what the world sees on the outside. It's something much deeper, something timeless. You hold the energy of life itself, a feeling that feels like home to the lost parts of them. You've woken up their deep desire for something real, safe, and whole. And now, they look up and whisper your name in quiet prayers, asking the universe for the chance to stand beside someone who doesn't just exist, but who nurtures, heals, creates, and gives purpose to everyone they meet. Their prayers aren't about simple desire, but deep respect for you, for your light, and for the destiny they feel unfolding just by being near you. Type Amen if you trust in God. Dear one, you might not realize how much comfort your spirit brings to people. You move through the world not needing to shout your worth, because your very presence declares it. The way you care, listen, and offer love with open hands and a patient heart. It's unlike anything they've known. You remind them of everything they forgot they needed. In a world that rushes, you stay calm. In a world that demands, you give gently. In a world that takes, you restore. They've never felt that kind of peace before. That's why their heart can't help but pray. They know that being loved by you wouldn't just be a blessing. It would feel like being born again. You carry a sacred, nurturing essence that heals hidden wounds and brings people back in a harmony with themselves and with life. You have a way of seeing into others, loving them not just for their good parts, but also for the parts they try to hide. And that, dear one, is what has reached their soul so deeply. You didn't just stir up a feeling in them. You awakened their longing for a divine connection, for deep soul intimacy, for a love that doesn't just feel good, but feels sacred. The angels are gently guiding this soul towards you. They aren't forcing anything, but helping to gently peel away the old layers that kept this person closed off to such a deep love. They are being softened, healed, and prepared to approach you, not with quick promises, but with a heart ready for what loving someone like you truly means. Because you aren't just someone to admire. You're someone to protect, to honor, to rise beside. And they feel this. Their soul knows that if they won't walk with you, they first have to walk through their own inner journey. That's why they might seem distant sometimes, why they might hold back or hesitate. It's not because they don't feel. It's because they feel so much. Your presence reflects everything they could be, everything they're being called to become. You are the gentle mirror they never expected, the voice of destiny disguised as love. And it both humbles them and wakes them up. Their prayers aren't demands, but quiet pleas. Please, God, help me become someone worthy of standing beside this soul. Help me meet them with a heart that's ready to build, to nurture, to grow. And yes, dear one, the angels are guiding this connection with great tenderness. This union isn't being rushed because the love it holds isn't meant to be rushed. You are being protected, not delayed. The divine knows what you've carried. The heartbreaks, the quiet struggles, the times you poured out your soul and got silence back. The angels watched you hold your light in the dark, nurture others when your own heart was tired, and create beauty even while healing yourself. Dear one, the person who is secretly praying to make you their life partner is carrying a lot of feelings they don't know how to show. Their heart is full of longing, hidden behind layers of silence and self-protection. Their love for you isn't missing, it's hidden. It's tucked away behind walls they built, shielded from the world because they're afraid of what might happen if they showed just how deeply you've affected them. They aren't trying to trick you or play games, dear one. They're trapped in a silent struggle between their growing feelings for you and the fears born from their past. You triggered something so powerful inside them that they felt both awakened and exposed, like your presence made it impossible to keep hiding behind the masks they've worn for so long. They sense your special destiny. They recognize the depth of your soul. They feel the sacred energy around you, and realizing that has shaken them. They know in their spirit that being with you would mean stepping into complete truth, vulnerability, and alignment. And even though their soul longs for it, their fears have kept them silent, distant, or maybe even acting confusingly. Not out of bad intentions, but out of fear that they aren't enough for someone like you. Type, I believe if you believe in God's plan. Dear one, what touched them so deeply is that you see through them. You don't just look at the surface. You sense what they're hiding. And still, you're kind. Still, you offer your presence. Still, you're patient without pushing. That has unraveled them more than any argument could have. Because in your calm, they have to face their own inner noise. In your silence, they're reminded of everything they haven't said. They watch you carry yourself with grace, dignity, and honesty, and they feel their soul ache to match your integrity. They know you deserve someone who shows up fully, speaks the truth even when it's hard, and brings clarity instead of confusion. And they are afraid that if they come too close, their shadows will dim your light. Yet, they can't stay away either. That's why they pray. They pray in secret, with trembling hope, asking God for the courage to come forward, the strength to be honest, and the chance to be forgiven if they've ever made you feel unseen or misunderstood. They are asking not to own your love, but for a chance to grow into someone who can hold it with the care and respect it deserves. You have awakened them, dear one. And awakenings aren't always pretty at first. They can be messy, painful, and filled with regret and realizations. The angels are showing this person all the ways they've hidden from love, all the times they chose safety over truth, all the moments they wore a mask instead of showing their heart. And now they see that if they want to be part of your life, they can't keep living in half-truths. You have shown them what it means to live honestly, to love without games, to walk in the light of purpose. And though they may still be afraid, the angels are gently pulling them forward, helping them face the fears they once ran from. This journey isn't easy, dear one. That's why the angels want you to know that the delays, the confusion, the mixed signals, none of it reflects your worth. It reflects their fear, their growth, their transformation. You haven't done anything wrong. You have been light in their darkness, and they're just starting to understand how huge that is. The angels are guiding this soul towards becoming better, not just to win your heart, but to align with their own true self. They're being asked to let go of every strategy, every avoidance tactic, every lie they told themselves to feel safe. Because this connection isn't built on fantasy, it's built on truth. And the truth is, they love you deeply, secretly, sincerely, but they don't yet know how to love out loud. That's why this connection has felt so intense, confusing, magnetic, and yet distant all at once. Because their heart knows you are part of their destiny, but their mind hasn't learned to trust that they deserve it yet. And so, in the quiet of the night, when no one is watching, they talk to God. They ask for another chance. They ask for healing. They ask for the path to you to be cleared, not by fate alone, but by their own willingness to change. And that, dear one, is where the angels are working most deeply, in their heart, in their shadows, in their silence. You may have felt their energy without understanding it. You may have sensed their eyes on you in spirit, even when their words didn't match. You may have felt the pull of their soul while your mind told you to walk away. That's not your imagination. That is their love, trapped beneath years of fear, trying to find its way through. And the angels are saying it will, in time, through healing in truth. But until then, they ask you to hold your own light gently. Remember that your love isn't too much, it's their awakening. Your truth isn't what pushed them away, it's what's pulling them home. You are not the reason for their fear. You are the reason they're choosing to face it. Dear one, someone out there is holding you in the most sacred place of their heart. Not just with affection, but with quiet respect and awe. And while they might not have said it out loud, They're asking God to make you their life partner because deep down, they feel your soul was sent here for something more than just everyday love. They see something in you they've never seen before, a depth, a devotion, a divine strength that calls them to become better, to rise, to help create a life that means something. You've touched their soul, not by doing anything big or loud, but just by being you. Your consistency, your work ethic, the way you hold space for others, your quiet dedication to your purpose, it has made them believe in real love again, in a connection built not on passing feelings, but on building something lasting and meaningful together. You don't just live life, dear one. You build it every day with your thoughts, actions, and energy. You shape a future that inspires others. And this soul, watching you in silence, has realized that what you carry isn't just love, it's legacy. You aren't just someone to love. You're someone to build a life with, build a purpose with, build a future with. And that realization has awakened a sacred longing in them that words can't fully express. Type strong if you believe in God's presence. They have been silently praying, not just for a relationship, but for a partnership where their soul could walk beside someone like you and feel safe, seen, and supported. They've seen how you handle your responsibilities, how you commit to your vision, how you never shy away from doing the inner work needed. And that has deeply moved them in unexpected ways. They aren't just drawn to your heart. They are inspired by your mind, your passion, and the grace you show as you keep rising, even when life tries to slow you down. You've become their definition of a blend of divine strength and gentle wisdom. They feel your presence would bring structure to their life. Not rigid rules, but sacred alignment, the kind that makes everything feel like it's finally falling into place. They are quietly learning from you, even now, learning what patience looks like, what teamwork means, what real commitment feels like. You've shown them that love isn't just a feeling. It's an intention, a foundation, a series of choices made carefully every single day. That is why they are praying, dear one. They are praying that the divine will prepare them to be the one who can walk beside you and not just admire your strength, but match it. They don't want to be rescued by your light. They want to stand beside it, protect it, and rise with it. You have touched them so deeply because you've built your life from the inside out. Your strength doesn't come from force. It comes from alignment. The way you move through life with quiet purpose, balance your inner world with your outer responsibilities, and keep offering love without needing praise. It humbles them. It makes them realize that real love isn't loud, messy, or chaotic. It's dependable, peaceful, and powerful in the most grounding way. And they feel that with you. They see themselves working with you on dreams that help not just each other, but others too. They see a shared path where love becomes the foundation for a greater mission. They sense that if God were to bring your souls together, it wouldn't just be for romance. It would be for purpose, for legacy, for divine service. That's why this person's heart is so moved by your energy. Because you don't just attract love, you grow it. You water it, protect it, and most of all, you build it. That energy has become the blueprint for everything they now hope for in a partner. And so, they kneel in silence, whispering to the heavens, asking for a chance to be part of your life, not to take from it, but to add to it. The angels are watching over this connection, dear one, with such loving hands because they know this isn't just a passing attraction. This is a divine collaboration written into both your souls long before this life began. You and this person aren't just meant to fall in love. You are meant to build a love that others look at and feel safe believing in again. You are meant to be two souls who understand that love isn't perfect, but it is patient, dedicated, humble, and real. And in this sacred stillness, the angels are preparing the foundation. They are guiding this person toward deeper healing, emotional maturity, and spiritual readiness. They're aligning the pieces so that when the time comes, nothing will feel forced. It will all feel like it fits. The angels want you to know that what you've prayed for is being matched by this other soul's prayers. You may not have heard the words from their lips, but their soul has been speaking your name in every quiet moment, asking the divine for the honor of being seen by you, chosen by you, loved by you. Not because they feel entitled, but because you've shown them what real love could look like, and they want to become the kind of person who can give that back to you in every possible way. So, if you've been wondering, dear one, whether someone out there is asking God for you, the answer is yes. But they're not just asking for your love. They're asking for the ability to build with you, work alongside you, and offer you the kind of support that strengthens your path, not distracts from it. They're asking for a love that doesn't just feel good, but does good, that grows gardens not just in your heart, but in the lives of others. They are asking for the kind of union that is protected, blessed, and guided by divine timing, because they know you aren't someone they can approach with half-truths or half-effort. And that's why, even in their silence, even in the waiting, they are changing, preparing, becoming. Not because you asked, but because your presence has already changed them. And when they do arrive, dear one, you will know it. You will feel it, not in big gestures or empty words, but in their willingness to stand beside you, build with you, and honor the sacred journey your soul has always been meant to walk. Dear one, there's a soul out there carrying a quiet sorrow in their heart. Someone looking at what was lost in their past and realizing, with every tear, that what they truly seek has already shown up in the form of you. They are praying to God in the stillness of their regret, asking not for time to turn back, but for one more chance. One chance to love differently, fully to love you. They've come to understand that you aren't just a passing figure or feeling, but the embodiment of everything they didn't know they were praying for until your presence showed them the truth. You have touched their soul so deeply because, dear one, you carry a light that heals things never even spoken about, a love so steady and pure that it reflects everything they wish they had known earlier in life. You didn't just awaken desire. You awakened their grief, their reflection, their realization. And now they find themselves looking back at what they did, didn't do, didn't say, and most of all, what they almost lost. And in that place of quiet sorrow, they've begun to pray, not with entitlement, but with humility, asking God to guide their soul toward becoming better and their heart toward the sacred possibility of being your life partner. Type 111 if you trust in your guardian angels. Dear one, this person isn't just hurting because they miss you or because of something that happened between you. They're hurting because your energy made them realize what real love feels like and how little they allowed themselves to receive or give it in the past. They are mourning the versions of themselves that weren't ready for someone like you. The old patterns that made them push love away, the wounds that made them stay silent when they should have spoken from the heart. You touched their soul so deeply because you never needed them to put on a show, you just needed them to be honest. You saw through them. You felt the weight they carried even when they pretended to be fine. You offered them compassion without expecting anything back. And now that they've experienced your kind of love, nothing else feels real. They're praying, dear one, not to erase the past, but to step into a future where they are finally capable of honoring the love that once scared them. They aren't asking God to make you forget any pain. They're asking God to give them the chance to rewrite the ending with truth, healing, and devotion. What touched them so deeply about you is the way you loved with both passion and softness. How you offered presence even when you were uncertain. How you chose dignity instead of bitterness. And how you walked away or stood still, not because you didn't care, but because you cared enough not to force what wasn't ready. That depth has stayed with them in the most sacred way. They can feel you in the silence, in the memories that replay when the world is quiet, in the ache inside the prayers they whisper in the dark. And though they might look composed on the outside, inside they are, learning how to grieve the part of themselves that couldn't meet your love with readiness. The angels are watching over this soul, guiding them through this pain, not to break them, but to awaken them. Because sometimes, dear one, the path to destiny must go through the valley of loss so that what is truly sacred can be seen clearly, cherished deeply, and held with both hands when the time comes. And that is what this soul is now starting to understand. They're not just praying to be loved. They're praying to be healed enough to love you back in a way that mirrors the divine energy you so naturally offer. The angels want you to know that your love was never wasted. Your energy was never overlooked. Your presence didn't just disappear. You planted something in this person's soul. And though it may have taken time, it's growing now through tears, silence, regret, and longing. They are realizing that your destiny is not ordinary, that you weren't meant to be just another forgettable connection. You were the turning point. You were the moment the divine whispered to them. This is what love could feel like if only you chose to rise. And now they're trying. Quietly, slowly, tenderly, they're trying. Not for show, not for comfort, not even just for closure. They're trying because you touched something inside them that they now realize was the doorway to a different life, a more sacred love, a more awakened self. Dear one, if you felt alone in this connection, if you've wondered if the pain was one-sided, let the angels assure you, it was not. This person has cried in silence. They have looked at the emptiness and seen your face. They have prayed with trembling hands for the courage to come back. Not as the person they once were, but as someone new, someone willing, someone ready. This love is not gone. It is transforming. And while the past may still sting and the present may feel uncertain, the future is being shaped by the divine in ways you can't yet see. The one praying for you isn't praying for a fantasy. They are praying to become someone who can meet you with full presence, someone who no longer lets fear make their choices, someone who understands that love like yours is once in a lifetime and must be cherished. So hold your heart with softness, dear one. The pain you felt was never pointless. It was the breaking open of something sacred, the clearing away of what couldn't hold the kind of love you're meant to receive. The angels are preparing this soul not just for reunion, but for restoration. And when they return, not with big gestures, but with quiet truth, you will feel it. You will know, because this time, they won't come just with apologies. They'll come with understanding, with action, with a heart that finally gets the value of what they almost lost, and a soul that is no longer afraid to say, I see you. I choose you. I am ready. Music, dear one. Someone has gone into deep silence. Not because they've forgotten you, but because your presence awakened something so deep inside them that they had no choice but to pull back and search their soul for answers they weren't ready for until now. They are praying for you in secret, with a heart full of deep respect and trembling hope, asking God to make you their life partner. Not because they are lonely, but because they've realized that what you carry isn't ordinary love, it's divine alignment. They've sensed your destiny. They've felt your light. And it didn't just stir desire. It cracked open a door inside them, leading to inner transformation. You didn't come into their life just to fill a space. You came as a mirror, a guide, a sacred interruption to the life they had built on distractions, illusions, and just getting by. Your soul called out to theirs in a language no one else understood. And that call pulled them inward, into isolation, into deep spiritual reflection. They needed to be alone, not to forget you, dear one, but to find themselves so they could one day return with truth in their hands and love in their eyes. Type guided if you trust in God's guidance. What has touched their soul so deeply isn't just your appearance or the peace in your voice. It's your stillness, your inner light, the quiet wisdom you carry as you walk through life. You are unlike anyone they've ever known. While the world chases noise and approval, you stay grounded in your own sacred knowing, shining with purpose without needing to explain yourself. You love deeply, but you don't beg. You care unconditionally, but you don't chase. You've learned to hold space for others without losing yourself. And that, dear one, is what shook them, because no one had ever seen their soul the way you did, without judgment, without pressure, only with presence. And for someone who had spent so long running from their truth, that kind of love was overwhelming. But instead of choosing to run further, they have turned inward. They are reflecting not just on what they feel for you, but on who they need to become to deserve a place in your life. They are praying not for a shortcut, but for the strength to walk the full journey back to your light. the angels are guiding them gently through this season of solitude. It might seem like they've vanished, dear one, but the silence is sacred. In their aloneness, they're shedding layers of ego, pride, confusion, and fear. They're being shown visions of who they were, who they are, and who they could be. And at the center of it all is you. Your energy is like a soft echo in the quiet halls of their thoughts, reminding them of the love they didn't know they were worthy of. Every night, they close their eyes and speak your name. Not always with words, but with the ache in their chest, the longing in their spirit, the question they ask the divine again and again. Am I enough for them yet? Can I come forward now? Will they still feel me when I return, not as someone searching, but as someone ready to build a life? And dear one, the angels hear these prayers. They are working not just on the surface of this connection, but in the hidden spaces of the soul where real transformation happens. You might feel alone right now. You might be questioning if the connection was real, if the love was mutual, if the distance was rejection. But the angels want you to know that none of it was a mistake. You were meant to awaken this soul. You were meant to bring them face to face with their own destiny, fears, and potential. And while the journey might be long, while the silence might be painful, the love has never left. It is simply maturing, is deepening in the stillness, and is being guided by hands you cannot see. Your heart was chosen, dear one, not because it's easy, but because it's strong enough to hold space for something sacred. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. And so is this soul who loves you. Even if they haven't found the words to say it out loud yet, they're learning that love is not something you own. It's a path. And they're walking it now, step by uncertain step, toward the place where your light first met their shadow and offered it a reason to rise. So, if you're wondering if someone out there is asking God for you, the answer is yes. But they aren't asking for the version of you they once knew. They are asking for the version of you they now see clearly in hindsight. The divine soul whose strength, kindness, and purpose made them realize they were made for more than the life they had settled for. They are asking God to align their heart with yours, not through force, but through grace. They are asking for forgiveness, not just for what they did wrong, but for not being ready when love was offered in its purest form. And they are praying that when they finally return from this soul-searching journey, you will feel in their presence what words might never fully express. That their silence wasn't abandonment, but transformation. That the space they took wasn't distance, but divine alignment. And that their prayer was never just for you to wait. It was for them to be made worthy of the love you so naturally carry. Dear one, your energy continues to guide them like a lantern in the dark. You have become their North Star, their reminder that divine love exists, that it heals, that it holds. And when they emerge from this sacred solitude, they will not be the same. They will be someone who knows what it costs to find truth, someone who no longer hides, someone who chooses love with both hands. Until then, keep walking your own path. Music, dear one, when a message repeats itself, it's not to test your patience. It's because the angels want your heart to truly receive something it might have missed before. The one your soul has been calling out to, the one whose silence confuses you, whose energy lingers even when they aren't around. They are not absent in spirit. They are there, carrying your essence in the hidden corners of their heart, quietly asking God to make you their life partner, silently hoping the divine will give them another chance to stand beside you, not as a mystery or a shadow, but as someone who has finally stepped out of hiding. Their love for you has always been real, but it hasn't always felt safe, not for them, because from the moment you entered their life, something inside them shifted. You didn't just touch their heart, you exposed their soul. You lit up every part of them they had buried under control, pride, and emotional walls. You saw through the act, through the smile that didn't reach their eyes, through the half-truths spoken because they feared being too much or not enough. And while your love felt like home, it also felt like fire, soft enough to warm them, yet powerful enough to burn away their masks. Type 222 if you trust in God's word. This person, dear one, has built their life around survival. moving silently, not fully trusting anyone, holding back their truth because it felt safer than risking rejection. And then you came along, not demanding honesty, but being honesty, not forcing truth, but living it. Your energy is so pure, clear, and deeply anchored in purpose that it made them feel seen in a way that was both terrifying and sacred. They realized that with you, there would be no space for games, no room for emotional shortcuts. You love with your whole being, and that kind of love is a mirror. When they looked into it, they saw all the places inside them that were still wounded, still afraid, still running. That's why they distanced themselves. Not because they didn't care, but because they cared so much that it exposed everything they weren't ready to heal. But now, in their quiet time, they are starting to understand. They are learning that your love wasn't sent to shame them. It was sent to save them, to guide them home to themselves. And so they pray, silently, secretly, not just for your forgiveness or your presence, but for the strength to stop running from the only love that ever truly saw them. The angels want you to know, dear one, that your love was never lost. It was received. It was felt in the deepest part of them, the part they don't show the world. They think about you more than you can imagine. They replay your words in the quiet hours, listen to memories like sacred music in their mind, and wonder how someone like you could have loved someone like them. They feel unworthy, and yet they long to rise into worthiness. That's what your energy has awakened in them, a desire to grow, change, and become someone who no longer needs to wear a mask just to be loved. Your divine destiny has touched them, not because you tried to impress them, but because you were simply living in truth. You walk with grace. You speak with intention. You love with purity. And to someone who has lived most of their life behind emotional walls, you became a revelation, a soul that doesn't just shine but heals. They don't just want to be near you. They want to be worthy of standing beside you. That is why they are praying day after day, that God helps them break their own patterns, shed their fears, and find the courage to love you with the same openness you once gave them so freely. This connection, dear one, is not broken. It is transforming. Type Amen if you trust in God. Amen.